I'm here to share some stories with you, and it's about the life of an immigrant, Armenian immigrant. And I'm hoping this can inspire you and can help you with your future and your career, with your lives. So, at the age of 18, with $500 US dollars, and on November 23rd, 1978, I officially became an immigrant. Obviously, that was not by choice. Under circumstances I was living in, I was born in Iran, Armenian born in Iran. And for the youngs here, none of you were born, but there was a revolution taking place in Iran, whereby 6 weeks after I left the country, the revolution took place, and the borders were closed, and at the age of 18, I had to be drafted. As a matter of fact, I had to register myself. So I would be drafted in January of 1979. And what makes this so significant, numbers mean a lot to me. Numbers, I never forget these numbers. 18 is when my life was changed, 500 is how I started, and then November 23rd, 1978, in America is known as a Thanksgiving Day. And Thanksgiving, I didn't know at the time, but then I learned the year after that people celebrate Thanksgiving Day and that they're thankful about what they have and what they have achieved, especially as a family, and especially the things you do in your lives. So you can imagine Thanksgiving became one of the most important holidays in my life because my life was changed. Now I'm going to go back a little bit. 9 years before I came to America, not by choice, on July 20th, 1969, my world was changed. All of a sudden, I watched this live broadcast on a black and white TV, a mechanical TV with one channel, and we just bought that, my father bought that. And I happened to see this as a 9-year-old, and I fell in love with space. I didn't know where exactly this thing is. I knew it's moon and all that, but it just stuck to my brain for years and years and years to come. But then again, my dreams a little bit were shattered because in Iran, there's no opportunity to go to space. And 9 years later, I was not in a position to dream about being in a space because I was going through hardship as an immigrant as I had just arrived in America. But you can only imagine if you think of something and actually you mean it and you dream of it and you imagine, continue imagine what life would be like and what are the things that are on my head that I carry with me. Almost 20 years later, I started working on the International Space Station program. No magic, hard work. I had to study the right thing. I finished computer science. I didn't know I'm going to work on the space station. I had no space experience. But the destiny, the timing, call it karma, anything you want to call it, I truly believe some things are meant to happen in your lives. Some things are meant to happen to you. But you have to take the steps to achieve those things in your lives. So you can only imagine, at 9-year-old, I was dreaming about space. 20-some years later, I'm working on a space program. And guess what? A few years later, they invited me to go watch the shuttle launch. I'm not in space, I'm working on the stuff that go to space. And I'll tell you why. Because I appreciate the opportunity as I had, and I would do anything to stay on this project and work on this project. But let me tell you with certainty, as I'm going through this, I'm still thinking maybe I can still go to space. So, when those astronauts came back, as a matter of fact, I was in charge of writing the software for the electric power system of the space station, and I had to go relocate to NASA in Johnson Space Center, Houston. So I am living with astronauts. I am living in a space that is buzzing with space technology. And the astronauts who were on that shuttle, by the way, that was a real video of the shuttle launch I attended. Those astronauts came down and I visited them. And this picture I took with my Kodak camera 3 miles away, and because of the light, because of the energy, the picture came out fine. This is a picture taken 30 years ago. And this is in my room. I keep everything in my room. I keep my memories in my room. So don't you think there's something here? Was I worthy of being working on this? Or the imagination got me to this point? Imagination and the hard work. And guess what? 40-some years later, I meet the guy, the second person who actually walked on the moon. This is Buzz Aldrin. The picture you saw, that was him. See, things happen in your life. If you do good, you learn, you work hard, you imagine, you're going to achieve greater things in life. And then the last thing I want to do, I actually want to go to the space station, but it's expensive. So I set a goal for myself, maybe next year on December 9th, my birthday. I like to go there, but I have to figure out $20 million. It's a kind of expensive. My wife is certainly not happy. But if I sell one of my companies for $100 million, I'll give her $80 million, and she'll be fine with my $20 million. So that's my goal. But you know what? Dreaming is free. Why not thinking of this? Well, maybe it's going to happen. And guess what? If it doesn't happen, I got nothing to lose. But I'm still imagining this could be. Now, let me share some things about life, mindset, that will help you, besides imagination, the mindset will help you to become a successful person and survive a lot of hardship that you may go through your life. One of the things that always stuck to my mind was a message from my mother. When I went to US, the first thing, not only in the US, at the age of 5, when she took us to the kindergarten, the only thing she said, "Bales daser lavksovres." Like, that's all you have to do. Don't worry about life. Don't worry about the hardship. Don't worry about me working hard and not having a good life. We all had one TV. We only had one bedroom. My father was a mechanic. He was working 20-hour days. We didn't have money or nothing. She said, don't worry about any of that. Just go learn and get your education. Because years later, I figured, why was she insisting on learning and education? Because she was not educated. She was formally illiterate, but she was well educated in life. The reason she didn't want me not to study or learn, because she thought if I don't go to school, I may become a mechanic. There's nothing wrong with mechanics, but this is coming in a developing country, hard work. As a minority Armenian, it was not a good place to be and build a career as a young person. So this stuck to my heart. And when I moved to Texas, actually I went to University of North Texas because Texas was cheaper. I could not stay in LA, and I didn't know anybody better anywhere, any other places. But keep in mind, this is 1978. We had no laptops, no cell phones, no public internet, and oh my God, no Google or ChatGPT. That you have. So what is the message here? With all those disadvantages, with the mindset I have to learn, and you'll understand why it became necessary, not only to make my mother happy, but life needed for me to get education. And this is my laptop. You guys probably, if you Google it, you'll see it. This is a desktop that the key punch. There are key cards there. I had to punch those key cards. This was my programming setup. And I would take the key cards to a lab, computer lab. They would run it for me, give me a big printout. I would go wash dishes, come back, look at the printout, and I had errors in my programming. Then I had to do the same thing again and again and again. You can write a program on your iPhone right now and run it and launch an app a few weeks later. So my message to you young in this room is, take advantage of the opportunities that you have. You don't have to go through this hardship. See how much more you can do. If I could become a computer scientist and work on the space program, look at your opportunities. And because I have nothing more than any one of you here, I have no higher IQ, I'm not better than you, I was a disadvantaged person in a very difficult condition, but one thing I was doing well, focus with a mindset, I have to get education, learn always. The other thing I don't wish any one of you to go through, it's hardship and survival. By the way, you'll recognize at the end of this presentation, all of these mindset and soft skills I'm talking about, you must have those if you want to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not easy. I don't think anybody has told you that's easy. So do not imagine you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to make $1 billion a few months later or a few years later on your first try ever. And the skill I developed here under hardship and survival is what made me to become an entrepreneur, because I did whatever I had to do to develop tenacity and endurance. So to give you an idea, to attend the college I went to, not having money, I had to work. As an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, the year later, I didn't have work permit. I had to wash dishes. I was qualified to wash dishes. Then washing dishes was not making a lot of money. It was $1.10. They were paying me $1.10 to wash dishes. For 8 hours of work, I was making $10. 40 years ago, things were less expensive, but $10 was not enough even then. So I started washing toilets. Then I started working in a gas station. Then actually I was working in another restaurant from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And guess who are the customers at that time of the night? In a small town in Denton, Texas, my clients were drunk people who, of course, by the way, not all of them, some of them did not like immigrants, did not like a person with an accent. But what do you think I had to do? I had no choice. But because of that, I developed what I call endurance. As an entrepreneur, you must have endurance. You must work so hard. You go to investor meeting, they look at you, they throw you out as if you're nobody. Not all of them are like that. But when that happens, then you're not giving up easily. So in life, and as an entrepreneur or otherwise, you must have endurance and tenacity. Okay, I'm going through everybody else's problem. It's not working. Can I get some help in the back? Yeah. Okay. So I became the best dishwasher ever. This is also very important for you to know, and I actually mean this. No matter what you decide to do, no matter is it a good position or not, it's not nobody's business what you want to do in life. I took the responsibility of becoming a dishwasher. I wasn't pushed into that position. But you know what? I was the best dishwasher. My dishes and my pots and pans were the most clean pots and pans. The manager was coming saying, Zarik, great job. Other dishwashers were hating me. I didn't do this to get promotion. I did this because I thought I had to do a good job. You see, the mindset I was talking about is this. Are you a junior programmer? Take the responsibility as a junior programmer. Are you a receptionist? Are you a gas station attendant? Your mindset has to be, as I have accepted this opportunity and this position, I'm gonna be the best at it. I don't wanna have a spot on my dishes. That mindset actually stuck with me until such time today. And that gives you the opportunity, the competitive advantage to compete with others who may not be as accurate or as serious about what they do. Accountability comes from all these things. Dishwasher, gas station, doesn't matter. You're accountable for doing what you decided to do, so take the responsibility. Turn weakness into opportunity. That's another mindset. There we go. So what I developed, so the space station program I joined, I was the senior technical lead to write the software for the power system. And when they hired me, I didn't have space experience. But I went for the interview anyway. I said, listen, I have great programming experience, and I really was committed and loyal and all that, and I never negotiated a salary. So they hired me right away. They saw the passion. And then 2 years into my employment, my manager who hired me says, Zarik, I'm resigning. I'm retiring. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry to see you leave. He says, no, that's not, don't be sorry. But I want you to go apply for my position. He was a manager, I was a technical lead. I said, but Joe, I have never been a manager in my life. And he said, well, you got nothing to lose. Why don't you apply? I said, yeah, but I just don't want to do this. I want to do this thing. That's why I came here. Then, in a way, I thought about it. I said, well, I'm going to apply for a position. If they don't hire me, they don't hire me. You know, I don't have to kill myself. I still have my position as the technical lead. Guess what? I go to an interview, 7 people from NASA, and it's me with 0 experience, 0 managerial experience. All of the others, they had experience in that space program, and I was drilled in the interview process, asking a lot of tough questions and scenarios that could happen in this space. As an example, what if one of the software buttons doesn't work and they lose power on the space station? What would you do as a manager of the flight software? And I looked at them, I said, first, I'm going to make sure that won't happen because I love space. I love this opportunity, and I love the people that are going to space. So I'm going to make sure they're going to go up and come back, first of all. Second of all, I don't know what I would do because I have not done this before. But you can be assured I'm going to do everything I can to make sure they come back home safe. Because I was honest. I was transparent. I didn't make up stories. When you go to a job interview, don't make up stories. The right people are hiring the person, not the stories you're making up because you're fearful. So I said, I came out, I thought, okay, I didn't answer the questions. I became the manager. They gave me the job over 7 other experienced managers. Why? Because they saw the passion, the care, the kindness, the education I had received. Out of nowhere, I had nothing to lose, and I did that. So that stuck to my head. That's a mindset you have to develop. Seize the moment. Entrepreneurship especially. Uber and Airbnb, we were talking yesterday, they really picked up the momentum during recession in 2008. Especially for entrepreneurship, you can have the best idea in the world, you can have the best team, your passion is there, timing may be off. So timing is everything. Not only for your work, not only for your profession, not only as an entrepreneur, for you as a person. You want to learn something, learn now. Don't say next year. If you have the opportunity, you want to go somewhere, save some money and go somewhere. Don't say on my 15th birthday or 35th birthday, I'm going to do this. Do what you can, and if you can't, work toward a moment that you can do it and go do it. This mindset is also that. You know, there's no such thing as balancing life and career. You know, people talk about that. It's a lie. You cannot balance life and career. You can integrate your life into your career or your career into your life. And that's a mindset too. I'm here. My wife is coming next week, and we're going to be together, and we're going to go to Italy and go back to LA. Why? Because we can. Why? Because we wanted to go to Italy, and this was a better time to do that. Why? Because, you know, I'm integrating my life and my career into what I do, and I've been doing that a lot. So don't postpone your life. Seize the moment all the time. Because indecision is a thief of opportunity. When you don't decide, somebody else decides something similar to you, and they stay ahead of you. So in career, you got to make quick decisions all the time. So wake up and chase your dreams. Do not postpone your life. Wake up every morning. You wake up and be happy. Imagine it's your birthday. Move forward. Be grateful. Because tomorrow is a gift. Failure is an option. This is extremely important. I don't think any one of us here, of course some of you are so young, you know, I mean, you have 50 years to make failures, make mistakes and all that. We are born with this mindset, you cannot fail. You cannot fail your class, you cannot fail your grades, you cannot fail your game. You cannot fail as a manager, you cannot fail as a colleague, you cannot fail as a father or a mother or anything. I don't like that. I think failure is part of your growth, your evolution. What is not good is quitting. Failing is an option, quitting is not an option. And I have gone through many occasions in my life that I could have quit. I felt a failure, but I said, you know what? I did not complete. If you really want to make a positive mindset, your failure should be considered as I did not have an opportunity to complete the job. But I'm going to embed what I learned and do it next. Failing is something that doesn't mean you're a failure. We blame ourselves a lot. Oh my God, I'm a nobody. Oh my God, you know, like managers asked me a question, I felt like an idiot. Why? Because I felt answered, give him the right answer, give her the right answer. So it's okay to fail, it's not okay to quit. Okay. All right, that was important. I'm going to go back. Can we go back? One slide. Yeah. Perfection is impossible, but greatness is possible. This is very important. I actually do believe in this. I believe in everything I said. If any one of you can stand up right now and tell me you are perfect, I would regard your opinion, but I don't think any one of us are perfect in anything that we do. You may have a perfect mindset, but that doesn't mean you're perfect. But you know what all of you are or could be, if you wish to be, is great. I don't want perfect employees. I don't want perfect partners. I'm not a perfect person. I do great things that I learned over the last 40-some years. I'm a great colleague. I'm a great friend. I'm a great husband, I'm a great son, I'm a great father, I'm a great person to know, to be associated with you, but I'm not perfect. When we try to be perfect, then we make mistakes. When we try to be perfect, then we blame ourselves. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, the greatest players on earth, they're not perfect players. They lost championships, they lost points, but you know what they did the next day? They went back to training. They tried to learn what happened that they didn't win the game, because they're great people, they're great athletes. They don't give up. Quitting is not a good thing, but perfection, in my opinion, is impossible. So to do that, to be great, you have to form positive habits. Look for inspiration. See what can help you. When you walk into a room, especially as a leader, you can walk into your office and smile and say hi to everybody, or you can walk into your office angry and do not acknowledge anybody in the room. I can guarantee you the smiling is much better than being unhappy and sad and upset, because that's a habit that people form. When I smile at somebody, they smile me back. They don't even know me. I take a walk in my streets in Glendale in the morning, there's nobody there. When I see somebody, I say hi, and they look behind them. They think there's somebody behind them, and I'm saying hi to that person. I'm saying hi to the person, and next time when I walk, she said hi to me with a smile. You see, we have to give each other energy. And by the way, smiling and being, nice and positive, it does not take money, does not take an MBA, does not take a doctoral degree. You don't have to be a scientist. You are a human being who has that ability. Just use it to your advantage. And then, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as an employee, I believe all of you are if you wish, you should take the position of a leader. Those days of a CEO is the leader, let's follow the CEO, he knows everything. They don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I enable people to know everything as a team. I don't want to tell somebody what to do. I hire the people that I trust, and I allow them to do their jobs. So the first rule of leadership is what I call, this is a trademark I developed 20 years ago, not now, because I always felt this is missing in the industry. Okay, what do I say? Treat people as human beings and achieve loyalty, respect, and result. Isn't this simple? What's so difficult about this? We're all human beings here. What gives me the right not to treat you equally? We're talking about gender inequality. Yeah, 100 years ago, 10,000 years ago, they didn't know any better. There was an evolution in humankind. That's how it was. That's not how it should be. When I am not any better than my colleague sitting in here. I am just a colleague. I am an employee with the other employees running a business. Why should I treat them any differently? And you know the beauty of this thing? That you don't have to get an MBA and doctoral degree and pay for it, a consultant to come and tell you to do this. You get results. As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as anybody. You get results. You treat people well, you get loyalty, respect, and result. Result is the business, result is the financial stability for the company, result is innovation. It's good for you. It's going to make you happy. It's not for the other person. This is good for you. Take it seriously. And let's see. Part of it is develop empathy and kindness. Do not require a degree, and it's free. I already said this, so I was ahead of myself. All right. Next slide. The other thing you must do. So these are dear to my heart, by the way. There's a bunch of things I could have added, but I'm here just to give you some inspiration and some knowledge transfer. I am not saying you should follow, but this helped me to be standing here after 45 years and to be proud of being here in my mother country, Armenia, to mentor the young kids, young generation, no kids. Create a culture, going back to the professional environment, create a culture that assures critical thinking, transparency, teamwork, positive attitude, passion over experience, and extreme collaboration. When you treat people as a human being, you get all this. And when you have all this in a company, guess what? Your company runs better. People are happy to come to work. When I was young, I was scared to go to work. I didn't like my manager. My manager didn't like me, but he knew I have a great experience. I was miserable, he was miserable. The only reason he kept me because I was delivering. But I knew he's not happy with me. He was faking it because he needed me. And I was faking it because I needed the money. But then I realized he doesn't deserve me anymore. You see, at some point you have to come to realization that you have so much value. Give yourself credit. We forget to give ourselves credit. I developed a mindset saying, not because, again, I'm not genius, I don't have an IQ, there's nothing more special about me, but I give my 100% when I work. People count on me. Therefore, that guy is lucky to have me in his team. Make that mindset. You are so great that somebody else is lucky to have you. It's not that they're, you're lucky. Yeah, you are lucky too, but they're more lucky than you are. Develop that. And extreme collaboration comes from that. I shared an experience maybe last year. I have a team that I don't ask them to work harder or work extra or come this weekend or not. They decide. They decide to do extra work. I don't have to beg. I don't have to even ask. You know why? Because I treated them well. They have a great team. They are transparent. And they know I work just as hard. They know I work just as hard. You know why? Because I'm part of the team. It's not like I'm the founder, I shouldn't work hard. I do work hard. My job is to be a founder. Their job is to do other things. Extreme collaboration, I think that's a good term. Keep moving forward. That's a mindset. Okay, robots don't cry, humans do. So this is back to the last 2 days. We talked about AI. We talked about the fear of having AI. Let me put you at ease from my point of view. AI has been around 50 years, 60 years. I used AI for the last 30 years. I like to consider AI as an augmented intelligence rather than artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence sounds like a robot. Augmented intelligence is more to me like I am intelligent. I don't need any other intelligence. I program these machines. So I have some intelligence, but I want to have more data. I want somebody to mentor me. And in this case, ChatGPT could be the mentor. But then the final decision is up to me. I teach, and I know every student in my class. I've been doing it for 15 years. I've heard all the excuses in the world why they don't come to the class, why they're late, why they don't have the assignment. And then they argue with me at the end of the semester for their grades. And the first thing they ask me is, Zarik, why did you give me that grade? And I said, I never gave you a grade. You earned your grade. I really feel that. I have zero reason not to give a good grade to anybody if they earned it. I want them to be accountable and accurate about it. So when ChatGPT does the presentation slides, and I know this person for 4 months cannot do the presentation I just saw, therefore, I'm not going to give them the grade that they didn't deserve. So use ChatGPT, any other information to your advantage, not disadvantage. Learn, augment it, and do the proper thing with it. So humans win. So don't worry about the robots taking jobs away. Yes, there's going to be jobs replaced. Armenia was here, a lot of data. Everybody else is saying that. But let me ask you a question. In 1800s, Henry Ford came up with a very good invention. That was a car. He invented the car. And 100-some years later, we have autonomous systems. Well, guess what? The people who were riding horses to go from location 1 to location B, they got really mad at Henry Ford. They saying, oh my God, nobody's going to ask for our services because everybody's going to sit in a car and drive safely and comfortably. But Henry Ford did not change his mind. Evolution, the industry revolution, we had a workshop, we talked about it. That was industry revolution 2.0. What we are going through now, jobs will be lost, but new jobs will be created. You guys are good at all of these things that you see here. Creativity, innovative thinking, critical thinking, global cultural sensitivity, and emotional intelligence. Robots don't cry. If they imitate their crying, you know it's not sincere. I will never buy a robot crying, for, showing empathy to my kid. I know it's programmed. But we are creative, aren't we? All people in Armenia are creative. All people in the US, most people, they have this creativity they don't use as much. And this is a great example. I don't think a robot can do this. There are 3 people using their brains, finding the tools, minimum tools that are necessary to install an air conditioning unit. You may question what is the guy's job on the left, but I actually think that's the most important job this guy is doing. Yeah, he's heavy enough to hold the ladder, right? This is creative, isn't it? You think a robot could have done this, install these things? No. So don't be afraid of losing jobs, but update yourselves. Learn new things. Learn always. You saw that? And by that, I don't mean go get an education for 4 years. I actually think the 4-year degree program should change. 4 years is a long time to learn something. That was years ago. 1 year is maximum, in my opinion. Is that a certificate? Is that a new program? Actually, maybe we should start a new university and compete with the 4-year degree programs. Learn something. Learn how to use ChatGPT to your advantage. Learn how to program. Learn what do we mean by, the jobs are being replaced. Which jobs are being replaced? There are new jobs are being created. Why don't you go learn those skills? You know why? Because you can. You have an advanced notice about all these changes. There's an evolution. Industry Revolution 5 is coming. So you're going to have to be ready for it. Don't complain about it. Be ready for the evolution. So at the end, I want you to follow your dreams. Trust me, you do good things come back to you. Be kind. People are writing books about being kind. What is there to write a book for being kind? Why is being kind so difficult that somebody has to read a book to be a kind person? All of you are kind. Just practice it and do it unconditionally. I don't help people to get something back from them. I help somebody because I want to make me happy. I get happy. It's selfish. Be selfish. Do well so you'll be happy. And by the way, I can guarantee you, the moments I had in my life, the things I've achieved, one of them included the climbing the Mount Ararat on July 23rd, 2015, on 100th anniversary of Armenian genocide. I didn't want to do it the year before. I didn't want to do it the year after. So I decided to do something, and I did it with a lot of risks, a lot of pain. I broke my ankle 3 months before climbing the mountain. But failure, it failed. I felt that I'm going to fail and not go. But I didn't quit. And by the way, I don't have anything bionic about me. I am not a mountaineer. But what I have is a very strong mindset. You decide to do something and go do it. Don't postpone it. And 2 years later, I ran a marathon, and I'm not a runner. I just decided to do it, and I tried to do it. And if I didn't finish it, nobody could have made fun of me. People are having heart attacks running a marathon. And by the way, proudly, I finished it in 6 hours and 50 minutes. The guy who ran the marathon became the first one, finished it in 2 hours. So actually, I ran longer, so anyway, they should give me an award. Because I didn't want to break a record. I walked and ran. I walked and ran. Yes, I was exhausted, but I wanted to cross the finish line. That's the mindset for all of you to follow, because all of you can. And this I say this every Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is very important. Standing here, by the way, I've done a lot of speaking, but I get nervous. If somebody says public speaking is easy, yes, it can be done. But is it not nerve-wracking? It is nerve-wracking. So, but I pinch myself for a moment that I have today. In my homeland, in my motherland, in front of all these professionals from all over the world. I was talking to some guests earlier. They're amazed by Armenia. That's a proud moment for me. And I'm on the same stage as they were. And I am talking to a lot of Armenians, our future. I'm not going to call you female because I don't like the distinction. But sadly, there is an issue in our society and in the world. So we're going to fix that. We're going to support each other. But the last thing I want to leave you with, love your mothers. This is very, very important. So my father, I love my father. He died very early. I was in America for a year and he died. I never saw him. So if my father did not do his job, I would never born. But my mother is the true entrepreneur. She worked so hard to raise us in a foreign country. She worked so hard to give us the education that changed our life. She worked so hard to be kind with everybody while she was suffering through her life. And I can guarantee you all of your mothers have gone or are going to, and it's their motherly warmth. It's just this natural strength. And they are the true entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurship is hard, unpredictable. You have good days, bad days. You run out of money. You don't know how you're going to feed your kids. You don't know how you're going to pay salaries for entrepreneurs. There's so much relevance here. So I owe everything in my life to my mother. I call them. Don't say next month. I called my mother every day, 45 years until she passed away. Every day from Armenia. The first person I would call when I land from Zvartnots, Mom, yes, Estevem. Oh, Wallace, why you not going? Yeah, so she wasn't sleeping until she hears me. It's like 2 a.m. her time. Call them, talk to them, hug them, kiss them. Because they deserve it. And that's a simple thing that you can do for someone that you love. It takes 30 seconds to make a phone call. The sound is not there. Zaina. Not առաջից կտնեք։ Oh.
Ես գալիս եմ շատ հեռու խորքերից պատմության ճանաչում են իմ Էրեբունի Երևան Քրքորյան Դարչինյան Ազնավուր ու Թանկյան Իմ անունը հայ շինարար զինվոր Տունը իմ ավերել են ես կառուցել եմ նորը Մեզ փորձել են ջնջել մենք ստեղծել ենք սփյուռք Չենք թողնի կրկնվի պատմությունն անգութ Արմենիա առաջինը դու ես մոտեցել խաչին Մինչ այսօր ունես հերոսներ ու էլ ոչ մի լուսին Չի խիզախի պինդ է քո սահմանը Ես եմ քո պաշտպանը Արմենիա քեզ կառուցել են հավատով վզոր Դու վերածնվել ես քո մոխրից, ծնվել ես լույսով, հասել մինչ այսօր, պինդ է քո սահմանը, ես եմ քո պաշտպանը, իմ անունը հայ, Իմ ոգին հայկական 19-15 չի կոտրել ինձ անգամ Ճանաչում են մեր հաղթանակն Արցախյան Եռանկյունը ուժեղ Սփյուռք Արցախ Հայաստան Իմ անունը հայ է Գիրը իմ հայերեն Ես գրել եմ շարական աղոթք ու տաղեր Երբ թվում էր չկա ելք տեսել եմ հույս Ես տանում եմ խաչը իմ դեպի լույս Արմենիա առաջինը դու ես մոտեցել խաչին Մինչ այսօր ունես հերոսներ ու էլ ոչ մի լուսին Չի խիզախի պինդ է քո սահմանը Ես եմ քո պաշտպանը Արմենիա քեզ կառուցել են հավատով հզոր Դու վերածնվել ես քո մոխրից Սնվել ես լույսով Հասել մինչ այսօր Պինդ է քո սահմանը Ես եմ քո պաշտպանը